Welcome home, family and fellow citizens of the African Order. I'm here with another video, and the topic of this discussion is the Derek Chauvin Verdict. Well, it finally came down, and it nobody was going to be satisfied with the decision. If they had gave him the maximum, it still wouldn't have got Floyd back. And anything less than that, it wouldn't have been right. But the thing is, we got to put things in proper perspective. And if we want something, we got to do things to bring about change. Now, how many of you watching this video watched Patty versus Gladys? I did, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. And I have love for both. And after the versus was over, it really changed nothing. I still love Patty. I still love Gladys. It just gave me a minute to sit back and reflect on and appreciate their talents. When you have white people versus white people, some speaking against blacks, some speaking for blacks, a lot of black people sit back and they enjoy that. They find hope and they relish in it. This is their proof and evidence that not all white people are bad. But in the end, the results will be the same. Nothing will have changed. When you have one white person replacing another white person, and these white people are still in power and authority over our way of life, how can we wrap ourselves in comfort in that? We are diabolically opposed mentally on everything. There isn't one thing that black people can think of and whites don't counter with their own version of it. I don't know how on earth 160 years or so past slavery, we still vote and support and love to have white people in authority over us. You know, when it's about our kids and what environment, what culture we're raising our children in. You know, we have to have a system of justice that monitors over everything, that keeps everything in order. And white people, they can't run a just society. And most of these Negroes don't even know what a just society is. Uh, if we were living in a just society, the Derek Chauvins would not be able to do what they did to George Floyd. We wouldn't even be in that environment. It wouldn't even hardly seem reasonable or rational that one person can do that to another. That's a just society. And what is justice? Justice is if a person does act outside of the norm and falls into the judicial system, justice don't care what color they are. They'll all be punished the same. You know, whether you're black or white. And 22 and a half years is proof that this is not neither a just or a justice society. I mean, it's just not. And as I'm watching the trial today, I'm listening to the people coming up saying their piece. Then Derek Chauvin's mother came up. And somebody should have slapped her right in the mouth. I wish I would have been there. You know, the audacity, the unmitigated gall for her to sit up there and tell how her life was affected by this crime. The moments that she's going to miss with her son. You know, here you are, 80 freaking years old. You've had a lifetime of experience with your son. You know, of memories, and George Floyd's daughter won't have that. You had the chance, the opportunity to see your son grow up and advance, through society, become an adult, take care of himself, join the police force. You talked about pinning his badge on the shirt. George Floyd's daughter won't have the opportunity to have her father put a corsage on her wrist, watch her graduate, be the example of a man that she would look for as her husband. All daughters are, the fathers are the first love of the daughter. Now somebody else got to take that position. For his mother to sit up there and talk about how if the judge give him the max, chances are she won't be around when he get out. Well, you could still visit your son anytime you want and talk to him, and he can respond back. George Floyd's daughter can't do that. If we were living in a just or a justice society, somebody would have stopped her for being just totally insensitive. I wish I had been there. Like I said, I'd have slapped every tooth out of her mouth. And George Floyd sitting there just as emotionless as you can be. Your mother sitting up here on the well, not on the verge of tears, because like I say, these are some heartless people. For you to sit up here and say that in the presence of the world, knowing family and friends of George Floyd is watching, and all you talking about is what a good person he is. Good people, don't sit on other people's neck for 9 freaking minutes. I don't care if they do come on to work on their off day. Good people don't do that. I don't know how you can equate the act that this man did, the callousness of it, and the casual way he sat on the neck with his hands in his pocket, talking back and forth to the crowd. When the woman talked to him and said, you're enjoying this. And he just sat there emotionless. And you got the audacity to come up here in the courtroom, in a court of law, and say that this man was kind. This was one of the best days of your life, and you gave birth to him. Derek Chauvin may have been a dream to his mother, but he's a nightmare to us. 22 and a half years, no, that is not enough time for Derek Chauvin. 30 years, the maximum that the law allows, would not be enough for Derek Chauvin. 30 years in prison, 40 years in prison, 50 years in prison is not going to bring George Floyd back. To the brothers and sisters that he's left behind, his daughter. Justice is having George Floyd here. And you're sitting up here having these civil rights leaders using moments like this as another step. Are you freaking kidding me? This man is dead. He only gets sentenced to 22 and a half years. And you got the nerve to go out here to your supporters and tell them that this is progress? Dead brothers, dead sisters, mothers and fathers at the hands of these racist race soldiers, and their death only equate to a step? When I see these things that's going on, I don't know for the life of me why black people aren't up in arms, screaming for new leaders. you cannot possibly look and see the vulnerability that we have in every aspect of our life and have these same clowns leading our people, and we still just as vulnerable. And you still supporting them. You still giving them money. You showing up, participating in acts that benefit you not at all. How is marching going to protect you from the Derek Chauvins of this world? How is begging and boycotting going to protect you from a judicial system that you see is evident today that they don't have your back? Let that have been a black man that did that. He wouldn't have got 9 minutes to sit on the neck of a white guy. He wouldn't have got 9 seconds. As soon as the court came back with the guilty verdict, if he was dead, if he wasn't dead before the judge hit the gavel, I'd have been shocked. They'd have killed him right there. Soon guilty, dead. The judge ain't even gaveled the case closed yet. This is ridiculous. This is the path that these civil leaders still got us on. And here you got the Attorney General of Minnesota begging and pleading on the judge a couple of weeks ago, go easy on him. Don't give him the maximum. Did he go easy on George? When he heard George crying for his mama, did Derek Chauvin go easy on him then? And after the police said that George Floyd was unresponsive, no pulse, did he go easy on him then? No. He stayed on this man's neck for 3 more minutes. And you Negroes still out here asking for forgiveness? Are you serious? If you don't want to stand up for George, at least stand up for your own children. If you can't think about George Floyd's daughter while you begging for forgiveness for the person that killed her father, at least think of your own. You think these people don't they don't give a F who they stop? It could be your daughter next. The same ones that's asking and begging for forgiveness. This is ridiculous. All these civil rights leaders, all the efforts change nothing. Nothing. And if we don't change the leaders, nothing will be our justice. Because justice ain't gonna care whether you get it or not. If you don't participate in anything to get justice, justice don't care whether you get it or not. But before I end this video, let me say this. You know, I want these civil rights leaders to put their fists and their flags down. Black power without its own business and industries is begging. If you don't have the business and industries to support your way of life and got to go to somebody else for that, you're begging. Ain't no power in black power if you don't got your own business, your own industries, your own economics, your own politics, your own justice to oppose the system that you are rallying against. Put the flag down. Flag to me means a nation, a country. We don't own no land. We got no territory. So if you ain't got no land, no territory, what you got a flag for? You got nothing. If you're going to continue following these leaders, can you at least demand more of them? And if you can't demand more, can you at least demand a plan? I'm going to end this video here. And if you like this message, please share it. And if you like the content, consider subscribing to the channel. And with this video, as with all my videos, it is for the complete liberation of my people. And I'll see you in my next message. Ashe.